Now, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. A French court held him guilty of criminal conspiracy in a case that dates back to 2005 and links to former Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. French court held Sarkozy guilty on one account in high-profile Libya funding case. The court found that Sarkozy engaged in a corruption pact with Muammar Gaddafi, but he was cleared of the charge that accused him of using that money for election campaign. Sarkozy has been cleared of 3 other charges, including corruption, misuse of Libyan public funds and illegal election funding, and has now the option to appeal the decision. But despite that, he will be heading to jail. In a statement after the court announced the sentence, Sarkozy condemned the verdict and called it serious for the rule of law and for the trust one can have in the justice system.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happened today in this courtroom of the Paris Correctional Court is extremely serious for the rule of law, for the trust one can have in justice. More than 10 years of investigation, millions of euros spent to find Libyan funding, which the Correctional Court has just stated could not be found, and for good reason, in my campaign.
Now, this case dates back to 2005 when Sarkozy was France's interior minister and Gaddafi was facing international isolation. The deal allegedly shaped out between the two. Pact was taking Gaddafi out of international isolation in return for money for Sarkozy's 2007 presidential run. This case marks the biggest legal challenge of Sarkozy's career. He is already a 2-time convict. In a previous trial, he was convicted of corruption and influence peddling and wore an electronic tag while serving part of his sentence. In another case, he was found guilty of hiding illegal overspending in his failed 2012 re-election bid. Despite conviction, 70-year-old Sarkozy remains an active player in French politics, and the man who once shaped European geopolitics is fighting for his political survival. For more on this, our correspondent Ross Cullen gets you more on this story from Paris. Listen to this.
Not the first time that Nicolas Sarkozy has had a brush with the law. He was convicted and already served 3 months wearing an electronic tag for trying to bribe a judge. He's also been convicted of authorising fake bills to cover up illegal campaign overspending in his ultimately unsuccessful bid for re-election in 2012. An appeal has been launched against that one. And just worth pointing out that we have had some responses already from politicians here in France. Understandably, Nicolas Sarkozy's party, the Conservative Party, the Republicans, are very upset about this. And in fact, Marine Le Pen as well, a very well-known far-right person here in France's political scene. She has said that while she did have political differences with Nicolas Sarkozy, she also was upset about the verdict.